We will move on to the fun part, basically.
I don't really care much for expectations, but let's try.
All right, sir. So the first thing is the most embarrassing moment for you to date.
So, I have had many embarrassing moments in my life, and even in my sports career, I think I had many embarrassing moments in my life, but hard to remember any. But what I learned in my sports career was to always learn to laugh at myself. And that is what happened. That is what something that my coaches taught me, was the ability to be able to laugh at yourself. I think one of the embarrassing moments was that once I went to reach the final of an important competition, and I forgot to take my ammunition. So I went on to the firing line without any bullets, and then I just had to ask my neighbor for some.
Okay. The worst joke that you have ever heard.
I have only good jokes. My jokes are not good.
So even if it's a good joke, would you like to share it with us?
How do you expect me to just, like, I'm not a comedian. I cannot get you a joke now or like in that instant. It's really hard for me. Sorry.
Okay, sir. Your first and your favorite crush.
Sport.
Oh, come on. You gotta come up with something better. Now.
It's a great thing. I love sport. Why do you think I was involved in sport for 22 years? I certainly loved it. Otherwise, I would be mad.
You're expecting some actress or anyone.
Told you, don't have expectations.
Abhinav, what is the most craziest thing you tried before Beijing?
No, I went on a commando training course 3 days prior to boarding my flight, and it was a crazy thing to do because the chances of getting an injury was more than 70%. And I did it because I took that risk, and it was a risk worth taking because it ended up being a very important aspect of my preparation.
We all are looking forward to the biopic on Abhinav Bindra. Will there be songs and dances in it?
I'm not producing the film. I've only sold the rights of my book to Mr. Kapoor. So one of the reasons why it's not been made so far is that I'd never sign off on such nonsense.
What was the best advice you got between Athens and Beijing?
The most interesting advice, to learn how to detach from outcomes. I think was something which was an advice given, but also an advice imbibed through learning. So that when I went to Athens, I was very attached to winning, and really, winning for me was very important. The outcome was very important. And when I went to Beijing, I was very detached from the outcome, and I was more really attached to the process of what I had to do. So that was a very important learning and advice that I was saying.
So, Abhinav, if not a shooter, what would you have liked to become? Was it in sports or something from the academic perspective?
A lawyer.
And finally, Abhinav, is there any confession would you like to have which you haven't made anywhere to date?
Certainly not going to make it on this show.
ಇದು ಏಷ್ಯಾನೆಟ್ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಪ್ರಸ್ತುತಿ.
ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಏಷ್ಯಾನೆಟ್ ಸುವರ್ಣ ನ್ಯೂಸ್.